Well, I got a pretty cool one today. It's a swap car. Not really a typical one. Pretty cool. It's a Chevelle with an LT1 in it. Looks like it has iron heads on it. I can see them rusting. So probably a B-body engine. It's a 96, 97 car or engine. Doing a 0411 PCM swap on it because I'm pretty sure this Opti is junk, or the ICM's junk, which I'm actually about to replace real quick. And we're gonna get it running. He said he has a cam in it and stuff. I didn't hear it run. I heard it fired up for a second when he was pulling off the trailer and it died. So I'm wondering if this ICM's is junk. I have a couple parts, but I need to get it in my driveway. And I'm just trying to do this one-handed. Boom. Let's just see if this works. Let's do it live. Yeah, I need to try to get it in my driveway so I can start wiring on it. Nada. So I'm thinking the Opti is like really junk, or the coil is just not hitting. So I'll go grab a coil real quick. And actually, I don't even know if I have a coil. I have to pull one off my car. Man, I don't really see coils going bad that often, so gotta diagnose this thing now. So all right, let me try to get this thing diagnosed. I'm gonna try to pull in the driveway. I'm gonna start recording on the wiring process of this. The PCM is actually in there, so pretty cool. It'll actually hide all the wiring and stuff. So it's got vintage air and stuff in it, so it's gonna be a cool little car to do. I'm gonna try to wash the engine bay too. It's really dusty and dirty. I don't really do that for customers, but I don't want to work in dusty and dirty stuff. That's just how I roll. So I'm gonna go get my OBD2 scanner, see if I got any codes, and then maybe that'll point me in the right direction there. Stay tuned. Okay, well it's in the street, so I think I'm just gonna have to rewire it right there and then pull it up right here and then finish it. So I'm gonna do a rough wire on it. I think the Opti's bad in it. Like, it's an MSD. I'm getting fuel pressure and all that stuff. I got power to the PCM. Yeah, I'll just do it right there. It's fine. No big deal. My neighbors don't mind. Okay, so this is all you need for this swap. This is assuming that you have a 96, 97 front timing cover, the crank sensor, and a working ICM. And you need the reluctor wheel too for the crank sensor that goes in the snout. You need the Woodruff key that actually holds on to that the reluctor wheel, and that's pretty much it. If you are starting off with like a 94, 95 car, there's a couple things you need to change around. Like a 95 car, you just need to change that front timing cover, reuse your Opti. Doesn't matter if the sensor's bad in it or not. Just reuse that Opti, make sure the cap and rotor is good, make sure the plug wires are good, and you're good to go. Front timing cover, reluctor wheel, and the Woodruff key, that's all you need. And just wire in the crank sensor to the PCM. It's 3 wires, pretty easy, not bad at all. If you're a 94 car, you're gonna need to change the front cam gear, the dial for the cam, the little dial pin for the cam. You're gonna need to, I think the timing change is the same, so you don't need to reuse one of those unless yours is like stretched out and wore out really bad, but it's kind of hard to really break one of them things. And then, you know, the timing cover, the Woodruff key, the reluctor wheel, all that jazz. So so this is the 2 items that are pretty, this is the 2 connectors you're gonna be changing, and you're gonna be changing 4 connectors on the car. So the 4 connectors become 2. So what I'm gonna do is sit here and just depin it. This is probably the longest part of the process, is depinning it. Let me get my camera set up and I'll show you the depinning process. All right. This is an odd view for me. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, this is just a salvage yard little the connector. You can buy these on eBay too. You can buy a brand new one with no pins in it. I like these because I reuse some of these pins. You're gonna need to keep some of these pins because you're gonna add a couple of things. You're gonna be splicing a couple of things. So, good. Damn, that thing went flying. Just keep a couple of them. So what I like to do, I should have just cleaned this first, but you know, kind of in a I kind of want to get out of the street, so I'll clean it later when I clean under the hood. Okay, take all those off. I usually don't reuse these right here. You can if you want. I don't really see a problem in it. It's just a lot more time consuming. To me, his is hidden behind a box, so it doesn't really matter. So take these off if you can. If you can't, just use a screwdriver and pop them off. But it's got these two tabs that you pull. There you go, they broke. Dang. God, I got dust all in my throat. Oh, God. Dang, that thing was dirty. Okay, so you got these two little pins on the, this is a super easy thing. I know people get really overwhelmed with wiring. Just do one pin at a time. It's not that hard. If you can honestly follow a list, going down the list of instructions, it's not that bad. I promise you, it's not that bad. So you get these little tabs right here, and just take you a pick, push it up, and you'll pull up on this right here. Same thing with this side, right here. And this is gonna expose all the pins. So you got the red one and you got the blue one. I usually just do one at a time. I just do one side at a time. So I'm gonna do all the red connector, and then I'll just jump into the blue. And then just go from there. However you wanna do it. Okay, let's get this out real quick. Pull these. And I might fast forward through some of this. I'm gonna try to do as detailed as possible in this one. I know the last one was really rough. Just kind of a vague description of what I do on this stuff. But I'm gonna try to be as descriptive as possible in this. So here's the little weather connectors right here. Just keeps all the water out of the PCM. Sometimes they'll stick on the PCM. Sometimes they'll stick inside of here. Just put them wherever. It's easier to probably stick them in here and then rerun them. They just run in these little channels right here. Not a big deal, kind of like a membrane thing or something. Okay, so to take out these pins, what I'm gonna do is take out every one of these pins, and I'm gonna start from scratch from here, and I'm gonna take the pins out of those one at a time on that on the car, and just apply them to this. And so they're all numbered on the back. Okay, let's see if we can get a good, so you got 1, 2, 3, it goes all the way to 80. So you got 1 through 40 on the top, and you got 41 through 80 on the bottom right here. So pretty simple. Just like I said, go one at a time, and they're all colored too. Some of them coming off the harness, I've noticed some of them are just kind of a different color or whatever. It's not a big deal, just follow the wiring pins. If you don't have a pin that it asks for in here that doesn't seem like it's really important, something like maybe evap or something like that, don't worry about it. Like just skip it, it's fine, it'll run. But if it's something like coils or ICM or something, yeah, you probably need to double check your wiring. So just take your time. So what I do, get a little pick right here, kind of lift it this way, wiggle it, and push at the same time. It's gonna come out of the back side right here. Boom. Just keep going. Like I said, this is probably the longest part of the process right here, is just doing this and then making the wiring look good. But you definitely want to keep a couple of these right here. I'll keep just whatever color you want. Because like again, some of them you're gonna have to add a pin to this to splice into another wire, and so it'll cross over. I think there's 2 things like that. I can't remember what they are, but I know there's 2 of them for sure that you need to keep. But just keep them, it's fine. I mean, if you got a little length of wire like this, that's perfect. You can solder onto this right here, and then you can heat shrink onto it. You should be good to go. Again, I am just gonna go ahead and depin this, and hell, you can just do it like this. Just push them all out like this instead of just pulling one wire at a time. Push them all out. Be careful, don't stab your finger. I've done that before. All I'm doing is pushing them out, and I'm just gonna yank them all out at once. Only do this when you're depinning the harness you're gonna be using. Now, don't do that on the car, because you're gonna have a wiring nightmare, and you're gonna be chasing wires down, and some of them are the same color, and you don't know where they went. Don't do that. But again, fairly simple process. It's just time consuming. It'll probably take me about probably 2 hours to get this thing going, to actually have it start and run. So I got this whole side right here done. Just gonna yank them out. I might have to do a couple at a time or something. Can't get all of them because they're kind of in there. Boom. Fresh pallet. I'm gonna clean this up too. This is gross. I should have cleaned it before I started, but yeah, a little bit about this car. It's a 70 Chevelle. Guy said it has a 700R4 in it. I did not see a TV cable hooked up to the throttle body. I'm not sure if that's gonna give me issues or not. I have seen old school guys somehow disconnect. I don't know anything about 700R4 transmissions. I know they have a bad rap about stuff, but I think that was back in the day where overdrive transmissions were new to everybody and nobody knew how to build them or anything. They just knew turbo 350s and power glides. That's all they knew. 4 guys, you're on your own. I don't know anything about those either. But anyway, they use a TV cable on those. That's what they call it, a TV cable. I think it's something valve, and it has to deal with the pressure on that. Now, if you don't have that hooked up in a stock application, it will burn the transmission up. And I have had a customer do that. I told him not to run the car until he had the TV cable hooked up, and he wanted to drive it so bad, he drove around the block, and it burned up all the gears. Just going around the block, not even getting on it. Ooh, dang. You like how I'm doing this on my 66 Biscayne's hood? It's got patina, it's all right. It's had worse stacked on it. It'll be all right. But anyway, there's no TV cable hooked up on this thing. So I don't know how they go about bypassing it, and I don't even know how to check. So I'm gonna have to do some Google searching and see if that's even remotely possible. I've heard of guys doing it before, but I don't know. He said it likes to skip gears if you like leave it in drive. So I'm pretty sure that's a TV cable issue. If that is, I'm gonna have to find a 93 throttle body or something. I think I might have one laying around. Actually, that's a 93 only. And hook it up, or somehow hook up that TV cable or something. I don't know. It looks like I had an Edelbrock throttle body on it. But that's the only thing with that car. He said it ran pretty good. It's got a mild cam in it. That's what he said. And I think it's been together for like 20 years or something like that. So he said it used to run pretty good, and then it started just running really bad. And so I'm pretty sure the Opti's just going, or it's done right now. It ain't even running. It wouldn't even start up right here. So, all right. So yeah, you got your fresh blank slate here. So I'm just gonna put my red connectors back on here, and I'm not gonna bore you guys with the other one. I'm just gonna do it off camera, and the next time you're gonna see me is when I knock the camera over like that. There you go. Or it falls on my head. That's cool. Okay, so the next time you see me or you see this, I am going to go to the car and I'm going to show you what I use on my phone. I have a file that I downloaded, and I just keep it on my phone, and just again, one pin at a time. I already have HP tuners. I've got a bench harness. I can already flash a base tune on it, or I can just put it in the car and flash it. It doesn't matter to me. So yeah, let me do this blue one real quick, and then I'll see you guys at the car. Okay, so before we get over there, I've already depinned everything on the little harness I'm using. This is the list I'm using. I'm not sure if this is going to focus or not, but it literally goes down the list. So this is the red connector on the car, and it tells you it goes to the blue on the new harness, blue on the new harness, red on the new harness. The yellow ones are not important, and then you get the black one, and then here's one that actually has two going into one, and it is I don't know if you can read it or not, I'm sorry, but I'll explain it. Number 6 on the black connector from the car goes to blue 60 and 80. That's one you're gonna have to reuse a pin on. You're gonna have to use one of those new pins and just splice it in and just solder it and heat shrink it and make it look nice, and there you go, you got 2 grounds, and both the grounds go to 60, blue 60 and blue 80. And then here's another one, sensor ground again for the fuel level sensor and the map sensor. This one goes from black 16 to red 57 and red 54. Again, do the same thing, just splice them in, not a big deal. And I think actually that's the only ones that are together. You got a transmission TCC solenoid too, and it goes from the blue connector on the car to red connector 2 and 44, so split that one too if you have an automatic. That's computer controlled. But it's pretty simple. I seriously just go down the list one pin at a time. So on this one, I'll probably start with just the blue connector because I like blue, whatever. And I actually like red too. But just go start on the red connector right there. Go down the list. So the first one we're going to do is the crank sensor yellow. That's pin 1. It goes to blue 12 on the new connector. Second one is pin number 2, and that's PCM ground. Goes to blue 40. And it even tells you the colors here too. So the first color right there was yellow. The second one's black and white. Most of those are pretty much correct. Some of the oddball stuff you'll get to, just don't worry about it. Just whatever's in that pin right there, just go for it. It'll be fine. Trust me. And then if you don't like this pin out right here, here's one in reverse. Here's one that goes from the connector you're connecting to the old connector. So the first pin on the new blue connector, it comes from clear 32. Like I said, it goes down the list. So it's an excellent list. I'm not sure who put it together. I didn't put it together, but you can find it on the 4X LT1 page on Facebook. That's where I got mine from, and I just downloaded it and then saved it from my phone. All right, so here's what we're dealing with in this car. This is a custom harness. Again, some of these colors might not even be correct, but I'm just gonna go by the pin numbers. So luckily for me, that's what we're gonna go by. It looks pretty clean. It's pretty messy under here. I'm not gonna get to that right now. Here's my 2 new grounds that I got. I got my stuff already. I'm literally just gonna sit here and depin this one. So what you do on this one, let me get the camera set up and I'll just show you. I gotta use 2 hands. All right. So what I do, where did I put it at? I don't think I even have it. I'll just use a pick, it's fine. I usually use a flathead, but just split this little harness apart right here. So they got a little tab right here, and a couple of them. Just pull them back. Try not to hurt yourself. See it splitting already? You got one right here. Boom. Same concept with the LS style ones. They're all numbered right here. And the tabs are on the sides right here. GM didn't really change a lot except just the size of it and the number of them. That's it. Look at that, pulls right off. And then you just start depinning from here. So let's do the first one here. Bust up my phone. Go to my files. Okay. Yellow crank signal. All right, hopefully that one's in there. Otherwise, if it's not there, I'm gonna add it. So crank signal is pretty important. So it is there. So yellow number 1, pull it out, just depin it like this. And I know I'm gonna have to cut these zip ties here, so I'll do it here in a second, but I just want to show you how easy it is. And it goes to blue 12 on this one. So this is my blue one, number 12. Slide it in there and it locks in place. And there you go. You got yourself 1 pin already done. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do the rest of them on this, and let's go with the blue connector. Finish the blue connector. I'll show you what it looks like, and then we'll keep going. All right. So I just got done with the red connector on that side, on the car side, with the blue connector. So this is the rest of these pins go to the red connector. So I'm just gonna skip them for now. And so I've got that going. So I'm gonna move on to the next color, which is gonna be black, and rinse and repeat. Just keep going. And then when you're done with all the blue connector, you got all the rest of the wires left over, just go to the red connector and let's start pinning those. One piece of important information I completely forgot. While you're doing this, either mark these red or whatever, or put the caps back on while you're going to the next color, because you're gonna forget, and it's gonna take longer. All right, we're halfway there. I got the blue one all done right here. I just have 1 tie-in left, and that's it. Now we're gonna start on the red connector, and pretty much the same thing. Just take your time, and then all this extra wire and stuff like this, like, you can just tie it out of the way. So luckily this one's hidden, and so I'm just gonna tuck it all back in there. I'm gonna make it look nice and neat. I'm gonna put that panel back on there, and should be good to go. Let me finish this red one. Oh man, the stuff that custom cars come with is boggles my mind sometimes. So I won't start. I got all the the PCM and stuff wired correctly. It doesn't get any kind of power when you turn the key on to the PCM. So I hot wire the PCM. I got the fans to kick on. I got communication and stuff. Go to fire it up, nothing, no fire. I got fuel pressure. I'm not sure if the injectors are pulsing yet. I haven't tested that, but I ain't got any fire either. So it's getting crank signal. The TPS is working. All the sensors and stuff are clicking and clacking and all that stuff when I hot wire the PCM. So I'm thinking we got a wiring issue, or if it's not firing now, like if I just hot wire that PCM, I think that the coil's bad. I've tried to hot wire the ICM up. It's not working. It's not going well today. You get that on these big jobs. So I'm gonna go buy a coil and give that a shot. Let's see what that does. I've never had a bad ignition coil on an LT1, but hey, it was the first time for everything, so they're pretty robust. So let me run to advance, grab an ignition coil and swap it out and see what it does. I have a couple of ICMs that I know are good too, so I'll give that a shot and see what it does. All right, I finally got this thing to fire. Found a couple of wiring issues, so it's just laying right there for now. So I'm gonna pull it in my driveway so it's out of the street. It wasn't the coil, it wasn't the ICM, it wasn't any of that stuff. It just had a broken wire. So I repaired it and it fired right up. For a second it ran like crap, but it's just rich as hell from probably me trying to crank on it and no fire. So it was the ignition control wire, red number 26. It was just broke. I didn't even see it. It was like back in that loom. So I've repaired it. I'm gonna go ahead and clean all this up. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it in the driveway and let's finish this thing. All right, I got it moved here. Sounds pretty good. Played hell actually getting it in the driveway. I kept losing fuel pump signal. Like, I don't think all my gremlins are fixed here. So the only way I can get it to fire too is actually hot wiring it up to the battery on the PCM side. So I'm gonna have to hook up an ignition switch signal up in there and just go from there. So I'm gonna start soldering and heat treating stuff real quick. Put that box back on there, and we can go and start tuning on this thing. All right, so I got it in the driveway, got it running okay, and it started misfiring and stuff, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So I decided to pull a plug, and sure enough, they're nice. They look really good, yeah. No, they don't. So I got a fresh set of TR55s I'm gonna throw in there, and then I'm gonna clean this engine bay up. It is so dirty. And I still gotta put the cover on that right there. I got everything soldered up, ready to go. Let's see. Ooh, yes, brand new TR55. Throw them in there. Should run a ton better. Then we'll go tune on it. Well, it runs and then it doesn't. So it's back to now just cranking over again. I don't know what's going on. It's got more wiring gremlins than what I thought. I'm gonna have to address a lot tomorrow. I'm just gonna have to go through all that stuff tomorrow and just figure out what the hell is what. Like, it's terrible. I can't. You can't tune like this, man. It's impossible. So I changed the plugs on it. I got one. Here's one that's. They all look like filed, but this one's cracked, and yeah, I'm sure that was arcing pretty good. So yeah, I'm done for the night. I'm just gonna get back at it tomorrow morning. You get to a point where you get frustrated, so you just gotta have a beer and a nap. That's what I need. I need a beer and a nap. So yeah, let me just attack this tomorrow. I'm probably gonna a relay. I have no clue what relay it is. You turn the key on and it vibrates like real bad. So I wonder if it's got a ground issue somewhere, or like a hot issue, or something on the fuse box. It's like something's going on with this thing that I'm not seeing. So I'm just gonna attack it tomorrow. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh man, day 2. That was rough yesterday. God, that was terrible. So today we're gonna finish the Chevelle here. I gotta finish the wiring. Like it's got a it's got a gremlin somewhere. Like it won't stay running consistently. Like it just runs when it wants to. So it's not the Opti. That's for damn sure. It's definitely a ground or a power issue going to the PCM or the fuel pump. It's got good pressure. I tested it, and it's got 48, you know, just idling there, so that's plenty of pressure. So I think worst case scenario is I rip out the engine harness and just kind of clean everything up. Just like the engine actually looks okay, but it's just like that panel over there. Like, God, there's stuff everywhere, and some of it's cut, some of it's just marked with number 1 or 2. Like, what the hell is number 1 or 2? Like, just right on. Like, you have a whole piece of tape you could have wrote on there with, and then on top of that, it's exposed. So at least I got it out of the street. So if you guys remember, it was within the street. But it got running good enough for me to get it right here. It actually died at the end of my driveway right there, like pulling in, and I spent like 20 minutes trying to get it to run again. And it finally started running again. I just hauled ass up here. So yeah, so today we're gonna finish doing that. For now, we're gonna go take Mongoose to the stove, and Papa needs an energy drink. Like, I don't usually drink them that often, but like today, I need something. I need something, definitely. See how this thing cold starts. It likes to run rich. I still haven't tuned it too much. From the last engine, I just left it alone pretty much. I kind of adjusted a couple of things, but not the cold start. So cold start's kind of junky on it, but yeah, it is what it is. It clears right up though, like, and it might be like the injector offset, like it being a little different. You can hear it. Give it a little beans right there. It clears right up. And it doesn't do that when it's warm. Just right when it cold starts. So probably a little bit of a cold start adjustment, and it'll probably be fine. Anyway, let me go to the store and get me an energy drink, and let's get on this Chevelle and try to finish it today. All right, I got a lot of that cleaned up and tidied up and stuff. Some of the, I got one wire, I had no clue where it goes, but I shortened some wires. I cleaned a lot of it up as I could, just with what I have. So I'm not an expert wiring guy, but I know how to sort of make something clean. I moved the OBD port out because it was on the wall right there, and you need to take this stupid panel off to get to it. I'm not dealing with that. We're gonna move it out here, then put the panel on there, and then call it good. So I need to figure out the panel. I need to figure out how to mount that ECU to the panel somehow. Maybe some Velcro or something. I have no clue. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but it's getting there. All right, I think I figured this thing out. So I'm going to go connect to the PCM just via the HP tuners thing. It won't connect at all. So I'm like, okay, maybe I fried the PCM. I'll hook it up on my bench harness, it reads. Okay, we have a problem somewhere. Maybe that's the problem. Okay, so we got this relay right here, and I know this is a fuel pump relay, but I couldn't find it for an LT1, and I'm like, well, this looks familiar, but I don't know what it's for. Well, it's for a damn tune port. And this thing is clicking and clacking and going ape shit on that firewall. So I couldn't figure it out, and finally I just started checking those fuses right there, and maybe I actually hooked up something correctly. Sure damn enough, I got one that's popped. All right, so I replace it, plug this thing back in, kick the key on, pow, pops the thing, fuse again. I think this relay is bad. So now I gotta go make a 30-minute drive to Claremore and grab one. Yay. Yeah, I took it out. Just not having fun. Just straight up not having a good time. I looked at everything looks okay. There's some things that I have no earthly idea what they go to. He said it was a 700R4. I believe the lie detector determined that was a lie. I think it's a 460E in this thing. So that's probably why it hits so hard when it shifts and all that stuff, and the wiring's hacked on it. Like, it's all messed up. So like half the wiring wasn't even hooked up. So I don't even know what to do about that. I just need to get this thing running and out of the driveway. So that's all I want to do right now. I am going to just hot wire up the PCM side of it, let it run, and we're gonna get it out of here. Like, I hate to do that with this thing, but like this is a nightmare. Like, this is a terrible wiring job. Nice car. Like, underneath it is it's a nice car. It's a solid old car, but like the wiring is terrible in this thing. Like, just having Painless make a harness for it or something, and then it would probably solve 99% of its problems. Because like under the dash is just a rat's nest of stuff. It has an original fuse panel in it. It needs a wiring job. Like, this thing is, this is a hoot right here. So I am going to just do the best of my ability to get it to fire up and run, and then he's gonna have to get a wiring harness for it. Like, there's no going around it. Like, I don't know who made this harness. Some of it's okay, but some of it's like not even labeled. It's just a cheap harness to me. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I am taking a break right now, and I'm going to browse on Facebook for probably 15-20 minutes and get right back at it. So, I'm a stubborn bastard. Like, dude, it's just wires. Like, if everything checks out, it should work. So I disconnected, or I undid that whole sleeve in the middle. I'll show you. Yeah, the whole sleeve. I did the whole sleeve. Found a broken wire. Guess what it was too? Power. I guess it was pulling power from another spot or something, but it wasn't enough or something. I have no clue. I don't know what's going on with it. But we're gonna see if we got communication now. So, open the interface, gathering information. Hey, we have communication. It's connected. This is gonna work. So let me put this harness back in and see if it'll start. All right, so it runs. That's cool. Got it to run. Oh man. So he said it had a 700R4 in it, and when I was under there, I saw part of the wiring harness going in there, and I was like, man, this thing ain't got no 700R4. This is a 460. So I called him up. I was like, man, are you sure this is a 460, or this is a 700R4? And he's like, yeah. He's like, well, whatever was hooked up to that engine. I was like, man, that's a 460. So I think I'm missing a couple of wires for the transmission. I'm gonna have to wire those in, but it shouldn't be that bad, because I was wondering why the speedometer was going crazy. But yeah, I started it and ran it and stuff. It's totally good. I gotta fix a nitrous issue on this one. Little G-body. I tuned this thing a long time ago. Runs good, sounds excellent. It's got Black Widow mufflers and stuff on it. Guy had somebody install a nitrous kit, which at the time I didn't do anything like that. Dang, this hood is heavy. And he said his purge stopped working. So I'm thinking they didn't hook up a relay to that switch, and it popped the fuse or burn a wire up or something. So I'm gonna hook up a relay to it, get it all squared away. This is such a nice car. Such a nice car, man. Very well done. I know we're supposed to be focusing on the Chevelle, but I've always got some cool stuff in my driveway. So, but yeah, let's get this Chevelle done. I'll probably work on it tomorrow and finish it up.